Hello, my name is Mary. I am 21 years old. Like many other girls, I've dreamed of a career as a professional model or actress since childhood. Well, I can't say that I worked hard for this. I just considered myself beautiful and talented. And my self-confidence led me to the most terrible movie set you can imagine. It had nothing to do with my future career. On the contrary, it could have destroyed everything, including my mental health. Now, I understand that I was reckless, but it was not because I was stupid. I just lacked experience in professional acting. Actually, I worked with professional photographers and cameramen only once, and it was all by chance. My friend Nat had invited me to a casting where inexperienced models were needed. The offer stated that only one girl would get the job and would be paid for it. So, I turned out to be that girl, and Nat did not get a dime. I tried to behave like a real pro, so I did not sympathize with Nat, nor did I say anything nice to comfort her. I only said, somewhat dryly, that apparently they liked me more than her. She was pouting and stopped talking to me. And, well, for a while, I forgot about her. My story continued when I unexpectedly received an Instagram direct message. It was an offer to come to another casting. It was not clear from the offer what they were casting, but it said that if everything went well, I would get good money. So I decided to give it a try. Of course, I was a little afraid that these people were scammers, but all my fears were in vain. Everything was cooler than I could have imagined. I didn't even have to get nervous about waiting for my turn among the other girls, because in the invitation, they indicated the exact time that I should arrive. They took a few pictures of me, then I read a short poem out loud. And very soon, they told me that I was perfect for them. I immediately signed all the necessary papers, not even caring about getting into the details. The only thing I understood was that we would be shooting some video. I went to the filming location in a car with a driver. It was somewhere outside the city, near a picturesque small lake. Driving took a pretty long time. From time to time, the driver would turn off the highway into narrow roads and loop a lot, so I could not remember the exact route we were going. When we finally arrived, I noticed that there were very few pieces of equipment, but there were still a lot of workers. All of us had to be accommodated in trailers placed near the shore, and I got a trailer of my own, like a real star. It was very cool because I was warned that we were supposed to spend almost a week here. The director, a short, young guy with stylish glasses, said that today we would only be doing some static shots against the sunset and sent me to makeup. We worked for 3 hours, but I was not tired at all and loved what I was doing. But the next day, everything turned out to be not so great. I had to get up very early and was immediately sent to hair and makeup. I wanted to have breakfast. I had several packets of instant oatmeal in my backpack, but there was no time for that. Later, the oatmeal pouches mysteriously disappeared from my trailer. I did not even have a chance to have a cup of coffee. Only some exotic fruit juice which tasted very strong and unusual. I don't know what it was, but after that glass of juice, I felt a surge of vigor, like I had just drank an energy drink. My mood momentarily improved, and I was ready to work for as long as necessary. Finally, I got called to go to the filming location. On that day, it was a beautiful, neatly set table near the lake. The task was simple. I had to indulge in the meals that were being served on the covered plates. But when I opened the covers, I was shocked. The camera was already working, so I did not show how I felt. But in front of me lay long millipedes strung on sticks, huge, hairy, deep-fried spiders, some greasy larvae, and caterpillars. The director instructed me to start eating and to keep an expression of immense pleasure on my face. I started with the millipedes, scolopendras or something. The assistant director showed me how I should lick my lips, as if I was very hungry. I had a thought that all this was pretty odd, but I didn't want to ruin the shooting, and I did everything that they told me to do. Well, I had to eat it, and gradually I felt that I was hungry. No, the food was still absolutely disgusting, but the hunger was almost unbearable. So by the end of the scene, I was just taking handfuls of thick larvae and stuffing them into my mouth. We did different takes, but the director was mostly satisfied. The next shooting day also began early. Once again, I drank a huge glass of exotic juice right in my trailer, and, like yesterday, I felt a huge surge of strength. When they took me to the makeup artist, I saw that there were other actors besides me, but I still did not understand the essence of the whole performance. Then I figured out that, later on, they were going to edit the material to make a video. My makeup did not take long, but after that, I was told to undress. I was very surprised because, as it seemed to me, we did not discuss shooting something like that. But they hastened to reassure me that I would actually be dressed. But they needed to make the dress right on me. I was very nervous, but soon I felt a surge of euphoria and I stopped paying attention to what was going on. I undressed and several girls began to wrap me in some strange, thin material. A few minutes later, I realized that it was toilet paper. The most ordinary toilet paper, which they fixed on me with a stapler and glue. At first, I thought that they were going to turn me into a mummy. But no, it was something more extravagant. The shooting process was pretty easy. I did not need to do more than the typical model poses and movements. On the third day of shooting, I was dressed in a dog suit, and I had to get down on all fours and, for the first time, say something on the camera. The assistant director was showing me the script on her large tablet. The text was very strange. It lacked punctuation marks. I could hardly understand it and read it very poorly, but the director was very pleased. It even seemed that the worse I read, the more pleased he was. I became more aware of what was happening when I stopped drinking the juice they gave me every morning. I found myself tired of its taste, so one day, when nobody was around, I just poured it into the toilet. After that, I felt the difference. I realized that they were forcing me to do very strange things, and I was embarrassed for everything that I had done on the previous days. I did not want anyone to see the footage. But why didn't I care about that before? They must have poured something into my juice. I began to observe the other models, both girls and guys, and I clearly saw how strange and unnaturally they behaved. I was very scared. I tried to act as if I did not suspect anything, but apparently, I'm not really a good actress because the director noticed something and sent me to the producer's trailer. The conversation with the producer was more like an interrogation, but I managed to somehow convince him that I highly enjoyed what was happening and that I was ready to continue working. But at the same time, my eyes were examining the inside of the trailer. It suddenly occurred to me that my contract should be somewhere in here, along with all the footage. We worked with very minimal equipment, and the internet connection here was weak. It was unlikely that they were forwarding the video somewhere else. At night, I took a little walk and found out that the producer kept his trailer window open at night. The next night, I broke into his trailer through a window. The producer was sound asleep, so I had to be very, very quiet. I dug into his desk in search of my contract, but there were no documents there, only personal notes. I was desperate, and suddenly I saw a laptop left on a table right by the bed. It was switched on. The producer had probably fallen asleep while he was working. It wasn't protected by a password, but it still took me a while before I found something that interested me. The footage from previous days. I wanted to delete it, but a warning popped up on the screen that it would take a long time. Then the producer stirred, and I hurriedly closed this window, but he did not wake up. After that, I found a folder with my name on it, and it was even more interesting. There was a dossier on me and some screenshots with text. When I read it, I realized that it was a phone chat with my old friend Nat. One of the assistants explained to her that they wanted to shoot an experimental movie and needed very open-minded actors. And due to the limited budget, they could not afford to hire professionals. And then Nat gave them my contact info and added that this girl was stupid, narcissistic, and presumptuous enough to do anything. Nat set me up. But that was not all. I found a draft estimate. They were going to pay me much, much less than they had promised. That was the last straw. I climbed out the window with the laptop in my hand and threw it into the lake. I still had 1.5 hours before dawn. Without even packing my things, I ran away and soon I reached the highway. I don't know if they were looking for me or not. I got into the first car that passed by and got out of there. I hope that I will never see these people again. They still have my contract, but after I destroyed everything they worked on and escaped, they probably guessed that I was aware of what they were doing. So, it's unlikely that any of us will